¿Qué tal, maestros? Muy buenos días. Les habla Rubén Enríquez. Yo soy subdirector de DDA, el área académica de la DGESPE. Y pues como siempre, me da muchísimo gusto verlos, ver tantas caras conocidas y saber que nos acompañan. Les damos la más cordial bienvenida a nombre del maestro César Romero, todo el equipo de la Dirección de Desarrollo Académico, Quetzali, Sánchez, Ramsés Horta, Nadia y Laura. Estamos aquí para acompañarnos y acompañarlos en el webinar del día de hoy, que está dirigido a los formadores de inglés C, a todos los maestros de inglés de las escuelas normales, y muchas gracias por estar con nosotros. Estos ejercicios son muy importantes y además nos da la oportunidad de vernos y de ver caras conocidas y amigables, y nos da muchísimo gusto que nos sigan como cada Webinars Day. Quisiera presentar a nuestros invitados especiales del día de hoy. Les agradecemos muchísimo al equipo de Cambridge University Press. Nos acompaña la maestra, una invitada muy especial el día de hoy, la maestra Aureli Palmas, que es egresada de la Normal Superior de México y actualmente colabora con la Universidad de Cambridge, lo cual es un orgullo tanto para las normales como para Cambridge. Ella cuenta con una licenciatura en la enseñanza del inglés como lengua extranjera en la Escuela Normal Superior de México, así como una maestría en lingüística aplicada de la Universidad de Surrey, Inglaterra. Ha enseñado idiomas extranjeros e inglés para propósitos específicos en todos los niveles en México y el Reino Unido. Además de su amplia experiencia como formadora de docentes en México y América Central, la maestra es actualmente la coordinadora de apoyo a proyectos de soluciones de aprendizaje en Cambridge University Press. También es examinadora oral y es entrenadora líder para Cambridge Assessment English. Y pues muchísimas gracias, maestra Aureli, por acompañarnos y por estar aquí. Estamos muy honrados de su presencia el día de hoy.
Un placer. Gracias.
Gracias. También nos acompaña Idolina Camargo Coronado. Ella también es maestra de inglés y ha trabajado por más de 40 años con alumnos de todos los niveles y todas las edades. Es capacitadora de maestros de inglés por 20 años, 16 de los cuales ha estado en consultoría académica para programas oficiales de inglés en todo México. Trabaja mano a mano con las coordinaciones estatales de todo el país y entrena a los maestros de educación básica de esas entidades. Es ponente nacional e internacional en América Central y Sudamérica. También es coautora de una serie para preescolar, así como revisora de diferentes publicaciones internacionales y nacionales, y es consultora académica de cuentas clave para Cambridge University Press. Muchas gracias por estar aquí, maestra Idolina. Y
Al
pues
contrario, muchísimas gracias a ustedes por la invitación, muy amables, a sus órdenes.
gracias. También está con nosotros alguien que ustedes conocen muy bien, Cruz Castro. Él tiene una licenciatura en Administración de la Universidad Mexicana de Educación a Distancia y una maestría en Educación a Distancia en la misma universidad. Él ha estado con Cambridge University Press desde 1998 en el área comercial como representante de ventas, y actualmente trabaja como gerente de soluciones de aprendizaje para Cambridge University Press.
Gracias, Rubén. Saludos a todos.
Y licenciada en enseñanza tiene un posgrado en gerencia de mercado de la misma universidad y ha trabajado en Centroamérica y en México en compañías líderes de la industria de la educación y de la tecnología de la educación. Y pues ella colabora también en Cambridge University Press. Estamos muy contentos de tener a un equipo tan interesante que hoy nos va a presentar pues una herramienta que nos va a ayudar muchísimo en nuestra labor en las normales. Bueno, tenemos más o menos 45 minutos para la presentación y 15 minutos más para preguntas. De todos modos, el equipo de Cambridge University Press van a estar en el chat, tanto aquí en Meet como por YouTube y Facebook, para estar leyendo a la vez sus preguntas y estar contestándolas. Cruz, si eres tan amable de arrancar el seminario, y pues muchas gracias y bienvenidos a todas las escuelas normales.
Claro que sí, Rubén. Muchas gracias. Good morning, dear teachers and coordinators of Escuelas Normales. I really hope that you are doing great during these unprecedented times due to the COVID-19 outbreak. As Ruben said, my name is Cruz Castro, and on behalf of Cambridge University Press, I would like to thank you for being here this morning with us in this tailor-made session, especially for you, in which we'll be talking about an initiative called Cambridge Be Ready Pack, where we let you know about the support we've prepared for you and your students regarding the use of online resources, platforms, and digital tools to put in practice knowledge, activities, and resources that you can use. So your classroom and remote teaching needs will be fully supported in the event of further social distancing measures. We know that as the effect of the pandemic continues to change, your role as a teacher continues to adapt. We are aware that around the world, teachers are experiencing different ways of interacting with their learners. Therefore, we are working to provide support for every teacher and student, helping you prepare and be ready for anything when teaching remotely. We also believe that principles of teaching and learning may remain the same across different teaching contexts. However, teaching online requires some new skills as well as the adaptation of the existing ones to suit the digital environment. And that's the reason why we are here with you today. My colleagues and I will be giving you feedback and support throughout the session. So please feel free to put in your comments or questions in the chat box at any moment. We'll try to answer them all. There will be a Q&A slot at the end anyway. So now with no further delay, let's get started, and over to you, Aurelie.
Thank you, Cruz. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. It's my pleasure to be here with you today, all colleagues, coming from Escuelas Normal Superior de Mexico. It's a great pleasure to be sharing this space with you. I feel very, very fond of all the Escuelas Normales Superiores. So, well, let me share my screen now. And somebody was suggesting on the chat, and I think it's a great idea, if we all switch off our cameras to have a better transmission, because it seems like there is a lot of delay. So actually, I'm going to do that as well. So, but just let me share my screen. So if my colleagues can help me to let me know if I'm sharing now.
Yes, you are.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. So great, fantastic. So as Chris mentioned, we're going to do a session which is going to last about 30 minutes, hopefully. It's going to be about how Cambridge is preparing or has prepared material to support you through this pandemic, which we were not very prepared for that, but came. So here we are trying to meet your objectives. So, but let me start first with a video. We believe it's a video that is a very emotional, but let me show it to you. And then we talk about it. It has to do with Cambridge.
We can't hear the sound.
Thank you, Ido. Is there a way, Ruben, that how we share the sound from the laptop? Can you help me here, or?
Yeah, sure. Let me just send you the instructions in a minute, please.
Thank you. Oh, well, maybe we'll just move on. Yeah, because this is going to take some time, and we don't have much time for this.
Or maybe we could play it later when the sound is
Yes,
working.
exactly. Thank you, Cruz. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you still see my laptop, my screen? Sorry.
Yes.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you, San.
Perfect, Aurelie.
Great. Well, if we have time, we will look at the video later on, but basically the video was about what Cambridge is here for you. Our mission is to unlock people's potential through our learning solutions and research. And that's exactly what we're doing. And so as I was saying, through these unprecedented times, like being away from schools and having to teach online and our students having to take classes online, Cambridge has prepared an initiative for you. And as you can see on the screen, it says you will be ready for anything with support from Cambridge. And this is why we're here for you and we're going to present. So there's a specific package that we have put together for you. And it starts like this. It has been exclusively developed for our customers. And is basically a free access to digital support for 7 months to accompany students' book print purchase. And there's a lot of guidance and remote and blended learning, as well as wellness support. And I'm going to explain what that exactly is. So the Cambridge Be Ready pack for you is going to be basically a digital book. But I want to clarify, as it says here, it's only for 7 months free access, and it's a PDF ebook. But it all depends on the purchase of the physical book. So basically what your students will have is they pay for their physical book, and for free, they will receive this ebook, PDF ebook, which is basically the same thing, but on a digital format. Okay, so they won't be buying a token for accessing the PDF book. Rather, they will be buying their physical book, and based on that, then they will receive then a token to have access to the PDF ebook. Okay, so it's only for 7 months, the access, because the book will last for a semester only. So they will have the access free only for the first 7 months once they have made their purchase. This ebook will give them access to a downloadable audio. There will be a link to that, so they cannot download it from there, from the PDF ebook, but there will be a link to the downloadable audio so that students can learn at home and continue learning. Okay, so this is the support that we are providing for you, for your students through this pandemic or through this lockdown, so that students continue learning. If they cannot be at home, if they cannot be in school and they are at home, but they can learn at home with the online, it's a PDF ebook. And when they're able to go back to their classrooms, then they can use the print version of the book. All right, so that's one. The second support that we have, or the second tool that we have, is the Presentation Plus. The Presentation Plus will enable teachers to continue with your lessons online using any tools that that are on the market, not Skype, Teams, or Google Meets like we're doing now. So I'm going to talk a little bit more on about the Presentation Plus. You probably know it because this is something that we already had previous to the pandemic. The Presentation Plus is a software that you have to download to your computer, and it has the audio, video resource book, teacher edition, the assessment program, the student's book, the workbook, and extra resources all in one, all in that software that you download to your computer. Now, I'm going to show it to you. Let's do a little poll. I would like you to answer a question. Have you used Presentation Plus? Yes or no? I want you to answer in this website that I love. It's called Mentimeter. There are two ways to access it. You can either read the QR code here on the screen from your mobile phone. So go to your mobile phone. If you have a QR code, open it and read it from the screen. You will be able to get it from there. Or if you don't have a QR code, go on your laptop or your phone to mentimeter.com. When you open Mentimeter, it will tell you to add a code to vote, and this is the code. Okay, so shall we do it, please? Have you used Presentation Plus? Answer accordingly in Mentimeter. Two ways. With your phone, reading the QR code here, or go to the website and add the code. It will ask you for a voting code. This is the code. Okay? Are we ready? Are we doing it? Team, are you doing it? Okay, you get in.
Yes, Aurelie, we are answering the chat. There are a lot of questions that we are helping to answer.
Okay, all right. I cannot see the chat.
Everything is perfect, okay?
Oh, right.
And we're also getting a Mentimeter.
You haven't got access to the... Oh, great. Thanks, Anne. Yep. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go to the Mentimeter website so we can see the answers. All right. So I'm going to close here. And we're going to go to Mentimeter.
It's sunny.
Okay.
Okay, it's sunny. Okay.
Okay. Here we are. So fantastic results. So we have 23 teachers who always use it in class, so you know it, you know what it is about. 14 teachers said sometimes, and 26 teachers have never used it. So if you look at more or less we are always and never. I guess the ones who never, is it because you don't know it, or is it because you don't have the Presentation Plus maybe? But as we can see is most never use it. Maybe if you can write in the chat, why is this? Is it because you don't know it? And this is a time for me to tell you more about it? Or is it because you already know it, but maybe you don't have it? Or what's the situation there? The idea of this is for us to understand where you are and the best way to help you to achieve your teaching goals and learning goals. We have 73 voters, the rest haven't. Okay, so I think we're going to stop this. Okay, so 29, so more have not used it more than the ones who have. So can you answer in the chat, why is this? And team, can you help me with the answers whilst I go back to the presentation?
Yeah, they still have not answered about that question. Not yet.
Okay.
Some know the Presentation Plus. That's what they are answering now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So what about the ones who don't know it? But that's what the ones I'm interested about. So to see whether we go in more detail about Presentation Plus, or they already know it.
Some are saying they
Some
know.
of them don't have it. Some of them cannot use it in normal conditions. Well, no, that's not about that.
Okay.
Their
Well,
teacher
just
was
quickly
not able to install it.
to install it. Okay. Okay. So I'll quickly go through it then. So it looks like you already know it, but for the ones who maybe haven't really had the time to have a look at it, can you see my screen now?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
Aureli.
It's a presentation plus. Fantastic. So, all right. So what you can see on the screen for the teachers who don't know it, and it is basically the presentation plus is a tool for us teachers. It's not for the student. It's for us teachers. Here you have the student's book and the workbook in digital format. So, for example, now that we're teaching online, this is perfect because you can present it like I'm doing now. So just quickly, you can do a double spread. Now, sorry, because it looks like my computer is a bit slow now because I don't know if it's because I'm presenting or I don't know. But here you are. This is the one of the pages there. And basically, we could use it as a visual input. That is the idea. So that you give your classes using these tools. You can make it into one page or a spread, a double page. And this is the plan of the book. You can go page by page, or you can actually go by putting a specific page. As you can see here on the screen on the left, you have page by page, by unit. So you don't have to go one by one. You can just click in one and go to it. All right, and this is here in the corner. Now for this one, we can make it bigger, right? Also here, this little blue circle gives you other tools that we can use for teaching. For example, here, no? I'm hiding this, and I can get the students to guess what the dialogue is about, etc. So there's a lot of different tools here that we can use for teaching. Or here, I'm hiding this, well, who is she looking at? So basically, to elicit language from our students. We can also make notes, or we can highlight. We can highlight specific language. Well, one of the things that you have to do is practice more, because as I'm doing it with the mouse, it's more difficult. Okay, but these are fantastic tools that you can use for teaching, and it's material that you already have. So as we have here the student's book, we also have the workbook. Can you close your microphones? Can you mute yourself because there is a lot of background noise? Thank you. In the book, you will also find the answers for each of the exercises. So this is great as well because you can show the answers there on the presentation plus. You can also listen, hear the audio here. Can you see it? So here's the listening. Again, well, we don't have the audio, but you can see it here. Is the listening there, and you can actually have the script of the listening exercise. So basically what I want you to see is that we have all in one, so you don't have to go through different sources. Everything, you have it here. So as we have this, we also, these little arrows take you to the specific exercise. So here, for example, if you remember, the interchange activities come at the end of the book. So that you don't have to do that, you just click there and the software automatically takes you to the interchange activity. All right. Now, this is the student's book. Here we have the workbook as well with exactly the same tools. As I said, it's taking a while to load. I don't know if it's because I'm presenting, but there we are. Remember, the workbook is in black and white, but you can do exactly the same thing. You can zoom in to see better. You have the answers, etc. Exactly the same features that we saw previously. We also have here the video resource book. Remember, the video resource book has the preview, while viewing, post-viewing activities for the videos of each unit, right? So you have it all here as well. You can actually watch the videos here, but the thing that I found is that when you can see the transcript, it doesn't show very well. So what I would suggest is just to go to the video tab. But if you want, you can click here, and it's you can see the video as well. I'm not going to play it as we don't have sound and it's a bit boring just to be watching. But basically here you have all of the videos as well. And I would suggest when you play the video, go to here, because even though you can do it from the video resource book tab, when you make it bigger, when you zoom into it, you cannot see the script. And you can see the scripts as well, because remember, we can use scripts for pedagogical reasons, for students to go through the specific vocabulary, for listening and pronunciation, etc. Okay. Here you will also find the links, the direct links to games and the interchange homepage, the dictionaries online, and the customer service. If you, for this, obviously, you need internet connection, and here it connects you to the Cambridge LMS. In the resources, you have the appendixes. This is for level 1. And this is the interesting one, because here you have, in every level, you have the teacher's editions and the teaching notes for all the different levels of Cambridge International Version. And we're going to talk about that in a bit. But these are all the teacher's editions. So you don't have to have your physical one. You can access it here in a digital format. You also have the access to the complete assessment pack for each of the levels. Let's have a look at this one, the level 1. So you have the scoring sheets, how to administer the exam, the question bank, all of that for each level. You also have the tracks for the listening of the exam. So here you can see, actually, let's have a look at this one. This is a PDF. Can you see it or no? Do I have to change screen? Can you see the tense administration and scoring guide?
We're seeing the
Using the presentation plus.
the presentation plus.
No. Okay.
Yes,
So I need
the
to
presentation
I'm not
plus.
going to do that because it's a bit.
Yes, because you would need to
yeah,
to share another screen.
It's all right. So, but basically all of this is in PDF. Again, you just download it to your computer and then you can print it if you like. And here you will have the placement test as well. The placement test is exactly that. So you administer to your students to find out which level within the interchange series they will be at, to place them. Okay, this is a generic for the whole of the series. It says passages because after interchange, for the higher levels, for level B2 plus and C1, we have another series called passages. It's the same one, it has the same methodology, etc., but we decided to call it passages. So that's why you see passages, but it's basically for interchange and passages. All right, so this is the placement test. All of this you can download to your computer with no problem. And that's basically presentation plus. So, and this is the presentation plus for what we call the international version. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that now. Let me just change screens. So maybe if you have a question so far, maybe it's a time for you to type it into the chat box, and my colleagues are going to help me to answer those. Yep. So if there are any questions, yep.
And Aurelie, sorry to interrupt.
No,
I think we have the video
right.
ready for the previous video that you wanted to present before. Do you want us to present it now?
Well, maybe towards the end.
Okay,
yeah.
So, you just let us know.
Please.
Sorry.
Great.
Some people want to
thank
know
you.
what the LMS for Cambridge is. They don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. The LMS is the Learning Management System, which is a learning platform where students can go to do their self-study activities. So there are games and extra prizes. It's just extra practice for students.
The ones that have been using it are very happy with it. They say that they've tried it and it is very friendly to work with. I want to know if they can use it in their Mac.
Yes, they can. Yes, but there is a
Okay.
process to load it too. Maybe we can send them there's a little like guide for clients, right, Cruz and Sam? So maybe we can send it to them so that they know how to
Yes,
load it.
for those that have been facing problems to install Presentation Plus in their Macs, please send us an email. In the chat box, Sandra just wrote down her email as well as Yvonne. So you can write us and we will let you know how you can install the Presentation Plus in your Macs. Thanks.
Some of the teachers have already installed it in their Mac, so they don't have any problems with it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I see in the chat that some of them were able to install it. Yeah.
Yes.
This LMS is the one that they go in with the link that they have in their book, with the code
Correct.
that they have in the book.
That's right. No, Cruz? I think so.
Yeah, well, we need to know which link, because we've got a lot of links. So we need to know specifically which link you're talking about, and we will confirm.
Well, the one that it's in the Normales version in the back of the cover of the book, where they have to scratch for a password and then they can go and they can use the student platform. Is that it?
Yes.
Is that what we're talking about?
That's the one for the CLMS, but the ones to download the Presentation Plus, that's a different one.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was talking about the LMS.
Yes.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
the
for
Teacher, that's correct, teacher. Yes, remember there are two different things. Yes, we're talking about the LMS. Yes, where the exercises are for the students for extra practice. Yes, that's the one. That's the code.
Okay.
That's
Thank
correct.
you.
Let me share with you a comment from Maricruz Torres. She says that she agrees with her companions who say that it is better if the students buy only the ebook. And I would love for you to give her an answer for this, or why we are giving them an ebook, please. She says that it would be impossible for them to follow the printed book and the ebook. Please explain to them again what this is about, because there's a little bit of confusion by some of the teachers.
Yes, what I was trying to explain at the beginning is only what the students are buying is a physical book. Why? Because this is kind of where the standard is. What we have developed now, because of the lockdown and because we want to support you in your online teaching, is this PDF format, which is only to support when you are teaching remotely. So we don't expect students to have to follow both. They are exactly the same thing anyway, but what they will follow is the digital or the PDF ebook when you are teaching them online, when they are learning online. And when they go back to classes, to the physical classroom, to face-to-face classes, that's when they will have or use the physical book. So what we're actually doing, students are not buying two books, they're buying one book and receiving the PDF of that book for free as a support with this pandemic. I don't know if that explains it better, Idolina.
Yes, I think it does. I hope it does. Here is another teacher who says that some of his students can't even register in spite of using the code that they have in the book.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you, Idolina. I think in that case, they can write me. We have written the emails, my email and Yvonne's as well. So you can write to us and we will get you a solution on that. And Cruz, I don't know if you want to add something regarding the comments of buying just the ebooks, because there are a lot of comments on this. But at this
I
stage,
think we can carry on with the presentation if you agree. And at the end, we will have the Q&A section. Otherwise, we will be stopping the presentation. So
perfect.
why don't we carry on? And at the end, we will answer the questions if you agree.
Great. Yeah, I think it's wise. Right. So, well, I was talking. So, it's two other. The other thing is the Presentation Plus, and the one that I've just shown you, and some of you have already used. So, the Presentation Plus it has been developed for what we call the international version. The international version of Interchange has only 4 levels. The program for the Normales is 6 levels. So, what we have done is divided our 4 books into 6. Right? So that it fits your program. The language, the grammar, and the structure is exactly the same. It's only kind of cut into the how you need it, teachers, for Normales. So as you can see here, to follow, because what you are receiving, the Presentation Plus that you are receiving is the international version. So this is a guide, a correlation between the international version and the Normales version, so that you have an idea of when to stop. For example, here, if you can see here on the screen, Unit 9 in Interchange International Version will be Unit 1 for your level developing elementary conversations, okay? So that this is a little chart, so you have an idea of how to correlate the international version with the Normales version. We can send you this for you to have a better understanding for you when you're planning, especially when you're planning your classes, but you also have this on your, on the HESPE website. You also have this so that you can work with Presentation Plus more smoothly, okay? Now, another thing of the Be Ready Pack, what we call it, we talked about the PDFs, ebook, we talked about the Presentation Plus, and the third point, or the third tool in the Cambridge Be Ready Pack is the remote teaching guide. In this remote teaching guide, you will find a guide, some guidelines and advice on how to teach in mixed context, like face-to-face and online, also for home-based self-study, and things that maybe we, little tips that even though that we have been teaching with online for a bit now, we might not be still very sure about. So you will find this this tips and suggestions in this Be Ready Pack as well. Also, helpful guide on teaching learners who are returning to class at different levels. How is that going to feel? What is it going to look like? We don't know yet. So maybe we will have different type of students in terms of their characteristics, in terms of their priorities, etc. I think this lockdown has changed the way we live. So in Cambridge, we are aware of that, and that's why we are developing techniques and tips so to help you with all of these returning as well. For example, like you see here on the screen, what to focus on in your teaching time, and what to focus on when you are online. So very, very specific tips on how to teach with Interchange. Also, as I was saying, the emotional well-being support for both for teachers and for learners, including bereavement or traumas. We don't know what's happened to them, to the families throughout this lockdown. Identifying and handling problematic behavior as well, maybe self-esteem issues that may arise from learning gaps. Maybe we might have some very social students who they really need the social part of it, and they are missing that now. So how has that affect their learning as well? So all of these different issues are going to be addressed in this tips and documents that we are developing in Cambridge, and that are part of the Be Ready Pack. Now, how does it work? Once your purchase order is received, we will be able to provide you with your pack. So this is important. I think this is part of what Cruz and my team want to talk about later on, but it's basically, this is how it works. Once your purchase order is received, then we will be able to provide all this that we have talked about, the PDFs, the access to the well-being and guide for teaching online. And also you will have access to everything digitally. So we will send it to you digitally. For the students' PDF ebooks, they're going to be accessed through a code at bookshelfcambridge.org. I don't know if you have heard or know about Bookshelf, but basically Bookshelf is an e-reader, is a digital e-reader. So where you can either through an app, you can download the app to your mobile phone or through your iPad, to your mobile devices, or you go to a web browser, a book reader on your computer. You create an account in Bookshelf. This is what it looks like. You create an account. You don't need anything from us. That's personal, as you will create a Hotmail account or a Gmail account, whatever. You create your account, and then we will be providing you with a code. The code will be provided after you purchase, okay? And this will be provided through your headquarters. The Bookshelf operates on these systems and devices. You can see, you can read them on the screen, but basically the ones it needs a system that can support images and audio, okay? But basically, I think it's the mainly the most recent ones. It supports Chromebooks as well, okay? We will be sending you a little guide on how to go about it, the steps and everything, and this operating system and devices where it's supported, so that you can transfer this to your students so that they're ready to receive their PDF ebook, okay? So also we have extra support available through what we call the world of better learning. It's basically a blog, and this blog you will find thousands of experiences, insights, ideas, and resources. A lot of ideas from our experts, from our trainers, from our authors, and from teachers like yourselves as well around the world. You will also see videos on teaching skills and methods as a result of lockdown, how this has changed our teaching, experiences of other teachers from which you can learn as well. And of course, what we talked about already, emotional well-being tips for teachers. We are sending this blog is being updated every week, every 2 weeks. So what we are planning to do is to send it to you through the headquarters, or maybe you can send them now, give them now the link, San, if you can post it on the chat, maybe. You can access the link there, and then you will see all these different articles to support your teaching. But we will be updating you on every new content every 2-3 weeks, depending on how we go about it. But if you don't receive an update, you just need to go to the cambridge.org World of Better Learning website, and you will find new content every 2 weeks, okay? We also have online professional development courses that can help you develop your teaching skills. And they are at the moment 30% discount for our existing customers. They all range between 600 and 800 pesos, minus the 30% discount. I think it's very good. You will find courses from 5 to 20 hours, courses on how to teach online, how to teach with apps. There's one that it's been fantastic. We have been doing, Idolina and I, which is how to use QR codes for your teaching. And it is really nice because they give you nearly the steps of how to teach. So it's fantastic, because I'm not a very tech savvy, but I was able to do that. And it's fantastic when you discover all the things that you can do with these little apps for free that are on the internet, and transfer it to your classes and make your classes more appealing and more engaging for your students. We have, as I said, not only online, we also have how to teach for exams, reading, developing reading, writing, teaching English through content. So there are lots. If you're interested, again, we can send you more information. I think that's basically it. Those are the main parts of the Be Ready pack with Cambridge. Now we can open the floor for questions. I believe there are many for what Sandra was saying. So, and I'll stay here to help you with questions as well. So over to you, Cruz.
Yes, thank you, Aurelie. Just to wrap up and say it very briefly, the Cambridge Be Ready pack will give free access for 7 months to the resources that you just mentioned, like the PDF ebooks, the Presentation Plus, and the Teacher's Guide. This pack will be available for free of charge to customers adopting our materials, and it will will be effective from the semester that starts in September. So there have been a lot of questions asking if the students that bought the books before, this is a new initiative after we've been facing all these unprecedented times and the COVID-19 outbreak. So this is the initiative what we are carrying on at the moment. So I think this is one of the main concern of several teachers, and not sure if there are more questions. Or
yes, another concern is how do they get the Presentation Plus? Some teachers are asking. They say that they bought the book a while ago, maybe a year ago, and they don't have access to the Presentation Plus.
Let me answer that question, Irelina. In that case, please just send an email to myself and Yvonne, and we will send you the Presentation Plus. I will post our emails again. Thank you.
Yes, and basically the question is many teachers, I think, are not reading the answers in the chat or didn't hear the whole presentation because they continue asking for the price of the ebook, which has no price. It is not sold. Okay, it is given to the student who buys the print version of the book.
There's a question about how can the students get the books for the next semester. Well, the process will be the same. We have open accounts with with your institutions, so you can place your orders directly with us. The ones that haven't done that yet, you can send an email to Sandra and Yvonne. The email addresses are in the chat box. And we will guide you how to get the books, which is, as I said, the same procedure. We will send the books to the schools, to the Normales schools, and the students, as we can go out for the most urgent or the more necessities that we have, like go shopping or exercise or go to any activity that is really needed. The students can go to the school, pick up the book, and go back home. And with this Be Ready pack, they will be able to study from home. So since classes will need to be divided, leading to less face-to-face time, that's why we are offering this guidance on how to deliver blended learning to your students.
Hi, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can students get the Normales version from sites like Amazon, for example? Will that ever be a possibility? Because a lot of students, because the pandemic caught them during a break, a long weekend, they went back to their hometowns and they have not returned. So to get the books, they would have to come back to the city, and it might not be possible for some of them.
Yeah, I understand your point. And through Amazon, I'm afraid we need to discuss that, since this is a special version for you and it's only sell locally here in Mexico. So it might appear on Amazon webpage. The problem is that it will never get at your home, because we have a deal, we have contract with Amazon, but not for this special version. So this is something that we need to consider, and thank you for mentioning that. And please write us an email, and we'll do the follow-up and let you know later if that's possible.
I would also like to make a request. Well, I am a teacher also in Normales in Tepic Nayarit, and what I see with all my colleagues is that Mostly we have been working with the Cambridge books, with Interchange, and it's been very useful. The platform, sorry, the Class Plus presentation is really good, is really useful, and now in this time, it's been really useful as well. Some students, as one of my colleagues said, took their books to their hometowns. So if we consider that some of them live 2 or 3 hours away, at least from the city or from their schools, it would be very difficult for them to come back. In this case, in my case, to the city to pick up the books. So if we buy them, is there any possibility, any way that for at least for this semester we could only buy the PDF version? Because otherwise, I understand that we buy the physical book and we get the PDF version. That's great. The problem is, how am I going to get my students to pick up their books? Some of them cannot even come. Some of them live very, very far, and it would be risky for them to come to my town, in which there is a 10% death rate in COVID cases, and some of them don't even want to go out. So is there any possibility that you could help us with that this semester?
Thank you, Jorge. This is as well something that we need to consider, since we don't have that at the moment, that business model to sell only the ebook of Interchange Normales version. We will escalate this request as well and let you know. If you please send us an email to Sandra and Yvonne, and just to have it as a reference, but we will escalate it and let you know as soon as possible. I think this is a very wise and good alternative. We'll let you know.
Thank you. And yeah, I've been in contact with Sandra and with Yvonne. They have been very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, George.
Thank you, Jorge. Cruz, if you allow me to add, I figure out that they are like concerned about the delivery of the PDF ebook. In that sense, I just would like to add that if you buy your physical book, even though you won't be able to have it immediately, and it will be kept at the school, you will have access to the PDF, right, Cruz? Is that right?
Yes, that's right. That's another business model that we've been implementing. Several schools are placing their orders. Once we have the purchase order, we will provide them with the PDF, with the presentation plus, and with all the wellness initiative. And then the students will pick up the books later when they have the opportunity. Probably there are green traffic light, and they will be able to pick up the books, as we normally go out for some necessities to get something from out of home. So yeah, definitely that's another business model, Sandra.
Yeah, thank you, Chris.
I guess we are running out of time. I don't know if Ruben or Cesar would like to add something.
Sí, Cruz, buenas, ¿qué son? Tardes, días, son todavía días. Buenos días a todos. Disculpen que no haya podido estar desde un inicio en este webinar, estábamos en una reunión nacional. Me incorporé apenas y voy viendo todo y escuchando todos los comentarios que hacen al respecto. A mí me gustaría, antes que nada, agradecerle a Cruz, a Aureli, a Sandra, a Idolina, la presentación de todo este material, que efectivamente ya llevamos un tiempo trabajando el material customizado para las escuelas normales, y que ha tenido muy buena recepción en algunas escuelas normales, en otras no, porque todavía no lo han adquirido. Y a eso me quiero referir. La intención que tiene la de GESPE y Cambridge al estar haciendo este tipo de materiales y de este tipo de webinars es acercarles a ustedes opciones, tener un abanico de posibilidades, que si bien es cierto no todas las escuelas normales y las entidades funcionan de la misma manera, tendremos que hacer este acercamiento con Cambridge, en este caso con Cruz y todo su equipo. Lo que queremos es que este acercamiento les vaya facilitando a ustedes la adquisición de este material. Insisto, no todas las escuelas normales y las entidades tienen la misma posibilidad para adquirirlos de manera individual, para organizarse en escuelas, y adquirirlo de manera masiva o para que desde la entidad se pueda adquirir el material. Cada escuela y cada entidad tendrá que ver las vías en cómo funciona en su entidad para poder llegar a este material. Lo que hacemos aquí es ponerles en la mesa, sobre la mesa, lo que estamos haciendo desde varias instancias para apoyar. En el caso de los e-books, me parece que por la cuestión de la contingencia es muy buena opción. El costo efectivamente es el mismo, pues, toda vez que lo que estamos ofertando, lo que les estamos llevando, pues es el contenido, ¿no? Es el contenido que está adaptado a las escuelas normales y por eso es que el costo es el mismo. Pero me parece que tendríamos que ver con nuestros directivos, con nuestras autoridades, la posibilidad de que aquellos que estén interesados puedan adquirir este material. Sí es necesario que nuestras autoridades estén en contacto tanto con los docentes como en este caso con Cambridge, para ver cómo podemos acceder al material. No es un costo excesivo, es un costo que también Cambridge nos hizo aquí la adaptación para poder tener el material, es un material de calidad. Y lo que sí quiero es que ustedes no sientan que es una obligación. Es algo que Cambridge y de GESPE trae para que ustedes lo conozcan. Sé que muchos de aquí ya han tenido contacto con este material customizado para escuelas normales. Por la misma razón que decía Cruz, no nos parece muy viable la plataforma de Amazon, porque es un material muy enfocado y muy contextualizado, adaptado a las escuelas normales, al currículum incluso de los espacios curriculares del idioma inglés. Entonces, sí que quede muy claro, maestros, que es un abanico de posibilidades lo que queremos acercarles a ustedes, que el material ha tenido mucho éxito en las escuelas normales que lo han aplicado, y pues nada más era saludarlos y agradecerles el que estén en este webinar. Tengo un video que querían pasar, me parece, no sé si sea el momento o ustedes me indican para poder reproducirlo.
Yo creo que sí, César,
Sí.
sería el momento para cerrar, casi cerrar, sí.
Casi cerrar. Bueno, y a reserva de que Rubén ahorita quiera comentar algo, vamos a proyectar el video y regresamos con ustedes entonces. ¿Se escucha?
Perfecto, ahora sí.
Pues ahí estuvo, disculpen por el audio y el inconveniente, pero creo que sí alcanzamos a reproducirlo y a verlo.
Sí.
Listo, pues no sé, Cruz, Rubén, ¿quieran hacer algún comentario ya para el cierre de este webinar?
Pues de mi parte, César, solamente agradecer la oportunidad de estar cerca de ustedes y de los profesores, y agradecer a todo el equipo de Cambridge por el aporte en esta presentación y todo lo que estamos haciendo para apoyar a los alumnos en su aprendizaje del idioma inglés, que es muy importante y más ahora. Les agradecemos muchísimo.
Sí, yo también quiero agradecer a todos el tiempo. Y bueno, veo que en el chat veo que todavía hay varias preguntas. Están por ahí los emails de Sandra y de Ivonne. Para aquellas preguntas que no hayan sido respondidas, por favor les pido que nos escriban. Lo que queremos es encontrar una solución. Nosotros es lo que presentamos el día de hoy, una solución. Si esa solución no está de acuerdo a lo que ustedes buscan, bueno, les ofrecemos el que nos escriban y encontrar una solución juntos. Como les mencionaba al inicio de nuestra presentación y el video también, ¿no? Que acabamos de ver. Lo que busca Cambridge nuestra misión es to unlock people's potential, ¿no? Entonces, por favor, están ahí los emails y pues muchas gracias por su tiempo y un placer estar con ustedes, compartir el tiempo con ustedes. Hasta luego.
Gracias, Aurelio. Un último comentario, perdón. La presentación que vimos ahora, nosotros estamos en disponibilidad de podérselas compartir. Si ustedes gustan, lo podremos hacer directamente o se las mandamos a toda la base de datos o la ponemos en el chat, como ustedes nos digan.
Sí, pues en el chat, si lo pueden hacer, estaría muy bien también, por favor. Y pues yo también nada más quisiera agradecerles. Estoy seguro que esta presentación va a ser de mucha utilidad para muchos de ustedes. Nosotros, de todos modos, en la de GESPE nos esforzamos y buscamos alternativas, como bien decía César, para tener herramientas y poder pues enfrentar esta contingencia y poder sacar nuestro trabajo de la mejor manera. Muchísimas gracias por su tiempo y su asistencia. Gracias a Cambridge University Press, gracias al equipo de la de GESPE y maestros, nos vemos muy pronto por aquí. Thank you. See you soon.